Hi, so we're back again. I'm Michelle Dale, Virtual Miss Friday, and then she woke up is what we're talking about in this video series. Watch all the videos because they're kind of all interconnected, but all separate at the same time. Definitely watch the introduction video. I am talking about an experience I have. I just want to say up front, don't take this as law. I'm simply sharing my experiences of the things that have happened to me and how they've changed my life. So in this video, we're talking about identity recognition. A lot of people call this self-concept. So self-concept identity, this was all kind of like a bit abstract to me. But basically, whatever you say you are, you are. So this is like really super important. This is the foundation of everything. Like this is the absolute ultimate foundation of everything. So if you are somebody that has a self-concept, like, I'm so stupid. Oh, why did I do that? I'm so stupid. Like, don't buy that shit. Don't buy into that. You know, like, again, if you have a self-concept, like, I'm always messing up, or I never find the right guy, or I'm always, you know, like, this is always happening to me. That is your self-concept. And if it's things that you don't want, you've got to stop saying it. You've got to stop feeding it. You know, like you stop feeding that concept inside yourself, and you have to start saying things different. And I'm going to write this down because this is huge. I've been following manifesting people for a while, not a lot of people, just like a good handful of people. And I'll link them here because they've all helped me on my journey. But one thing I never really got was that there is one part of self-concept that you really have to include in any self-concept if you're going to actually manifest anything and stop sabotaging. And I don't know whether to bring that up in another video. I think I will, because I want you to watch all the videos. And I want you to be curious about this. Where can I bring this up? Oh, yes, I know exactly the video I need to bring this up. So I'm going to talk about this one thing you need to include in self-concept in the interfering in the 3D video. So go and watch that one if you haven't. But for now, I just want to specifically talk about identity recognition. So identity is who you are being. It's about really recognizing the person that you are making decisions as, the person you are showing up in the room as, the person you are waking up in the morning as, because this is like pretty exhausting work if you've had a really bad self-concept for a long time, because that self-concept is going to cling on for dear life. Like, I've had self-concepts where I've literally had to beat the living shit out of them to go away because they keep appearing and they keep trying to sneak in the back door. It's so annoying. It's like, I'm doing my self-concept. This is who I am. I am this. I am this. There's a guy called Eric from The Power of I Am. He has a great self-concept. I'll try and remember it. I am Eric, but I'm not Eric. I'm Michelle. I'm Michelle. I'm love. I'm perfection. I'm always chosen. I'm everyone's top priority. No one is better than me. No one compares to me. Fantastic self-concept. Sorry, Eric. There's one thing missing. That if you told people to add it in, it would change their whole manifestation life. But I'm going to do that in the interfering in the 3D video. But yeah, that's self-concept. So I started to tell myself I am a different person to who I am. And I started to then think about how I'm making decisions from that place. And if I'm thinking a thought, and this is where the work comes in, and this is why it's exhausting, because you have to think a thought, and you have to think, am I thinking from the new identity I want to be, my new self-concept, or from my old self-concept? Because sometimes I would do the self-concept and I'd be like, oh yeah, I got this. But then something would happen in the 3D. If you don't know what 3D is, go and watch the dimensions, the video, the Ds. I would actually be looking outside and reacting to things. And I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't react like that if I was the person I'm choosing to be. And that's where you've got to make sure that your dominant identity is the dominant self-concept, and you're performing. It's like performing in a movie. Imagine like your life is a movie and you are a character in that movie. Now, if you're an actor, and you go in and start to play the character and you slip into your normal self, you've come out of character, you've got to stay in the character of the self concept that you want to be all the time. And if you slip out, you've got to pull yourself back in. You've got to be like, no, I do not choose that. This is who I'm being now. But you've got to start by doing the recognizing the identity that you're making the decision from, recognizing the identity that you are showing up as. Like I say, who are you showing up in the room as? This is, I think, what people struggle with the most. And that's why they go, things aren't working, things aren't happening. This isn't, like, because they don't realize that they're taking decisions or having thoughts or playing stories in their mind from the identity that they don't want. And that's why more of that keeps happening. And then there comes this like little power struggle from the new concept or the new identity between the old identity. And this little power struggle can go on for like quite a while until you just submit to trusting the new identity. But the problem is, people find it difficult to just submit to the new identity because it's not something familiar to them. They trust familiarity. So then that's why they keep going back to the old identity, because it feels safer. But that's not keeping you safe, it's keeping you stuck. So that's why we have to do identity recognition. And again, when I work with people one-on-one, I can start talking to them and finding out which identity is talking back to me. So once I can identify that, I can tell you. And sometimes you can do it yourself. I had to do it myself. But because I had this like strange awakening and I get all these weird downloads I have to write down, I kind of knew how to do it. But it really is, in a nutshell, about just identity recognition, recognizing yourself. Are you who you've always been? Or are you who you are fulfilled, completely fulfilled, has everything you want, and you're acting from that? And if you are not in your identity, you're out of character. You would be fired from your own movie. Who wants to be fired from their own movie, their own life movie? Who wants to be fired for playing the wrong character? That's what it feels like. Like I was trying to like be this new person, be this new character. I kept slipping back in the old character, realizing I fudged up, and I'd be like, oh my God, I would sack myself right now if I was this was an actual movie. It's my movie. Identity recognition. Very, very important. I'm going to do another video now about interfering with the 3D, because that is also part of identity, and that's where I'm going to tell you how to add this one thing to your self-concept. You don't want to miss that. So see you in the next video. And remember, if you want links, work with me, everything down below. Come and join me in Virtual CoWorking Space if you've got questions about this stuff. Want to improve your business, your relationships, everything, all in there. And see you in the next video.